it going today? Hey, the season's winding down. You got the high-powered Medicine Hat Tigers coming in tonight, but no Gavin McKenna. Does the game plan change a bit?
Man, it's kind of a tough question. I think it's something we try not to think of a whole lot, but it's obviously always in the back of our mind a little bit with a high-power guy like that out of the lineup. You look at a couple other guys, Pickford and Wu, potentially out of the lineup as well. And again, we try not to focus on that and play our game. But, I think it's almost a little bit of a motivational booster going in and play with a little more swagger, hopefully.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it sure be nice to take one off those guys in your own barn, wouldn't it?
It'd be
a ton of fun.
Absolutely, yeah. I always tell the boys it's kind of we should go in with a little more motivation. There's not really any pressure on us. They're a team that realistically should win, and they have more skill and a lot more firepower, and older, more veterans, and it's just we go in and no pressure, and we can pop them. So
get cocky after, give them a little chirp.
You guys
aren't that good. You got Lethbridge rolling in here tomorrow night. So they got a few injuries, but it doesn't get any easier. But it kind of must be exciting, though. You're a guy, you played in the league, one of the older guys in the team. Although you guys aren't going to make the playoffs, this is kind of like a little bit of a chance, a measuring stick for yourself and for the other guys to be like, hey, let's everyone give them a tug and let's get out there and play these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. It's coming into a team, I was on the Cougars and we had a pretty good couple last years, and coming into a team that struggled a little bit, it's definitely a change, but it's kind of good for me individually. I got some ice time and some looks that I may not have gotten with a stronger D-core in PG, and I'm totally happy. I've been trying to embrace that and play my game while still trying to teach some of the young guys because our group's overall so young.
What are the road trips like playing in PG?
Not ideal for sure. Closest game is around 7 hours heading down to Kamloops.
Oh my goodness.
And then Kelowna's a little bit longer, and then Van and then we go down to the States a lot. Portland, Oregon's about 16 hours, I think, give or take. And there's lots of times we do a 3 and 3 in 3 different U.S. cities. So we'd have a real long commute down and then play and travel to the next city the next night and the next city the night after that. So
please tell me you guys had a custom bus. You weren't just riding a regular 48-seater.
Pretty standard actually.
Oh,
it was, it was nice. It was nice, pretty new. Other than that, but no sleepers or anything after the.
Oh no way!
Wow.
No,
really?
Our old bus had sleepers, and they made a rule that you're not allowed sleepers anymore. So if you have a sleeper before, you're grandfathered. And now we got a new one, so we couldn't put sleepers in it. I think since the Humboldt thing, I think a rule was implemented. But not awesome not having a sleeper, but it is what it is.
Wow, 16 hours. Holy smokes.
What do you do for and some of those trips like for days? Where do you do laundry on the road? Do you guys bond at the laundromats? Or?
No, it can get a little greasy on those alternates, so for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Your background, your family, you kind of moved around a lot. Is your mother?
Mom's RCMP, so that's kind of been the backbone of all the commuting and all the different locations and bouncing around.
Name them all for us. Where have you lived?
been?
Tuktoyaktuk, Northwest Territories, Aklavik, Northwest Territories, Yellowknife, Northwest Territories, Halifax, Truro, Nova Scotia. We were lucky enough. We stayed in one spot in Nova Scotia, and then Mom kind of bounced around and commuted a bit. So she was in Dartmouth, Antigonish, Bible Hill, and what else? Yeah, I think. But luckily, we bought a house in Truro, Nova Scotia, and stayed there for a bit. So we were lucky enough. It was close that each transfer she had within the province, we didn't have to move a whole lot. So that was lucky, and she sacrificed a bit to commute a ton. But I've been around for sure, and now I'm back in the West here, and I was in Red Deer, and now we're in Ponoka County, Alberta, and it's I'm happy. It's a good spot.
What's your mom's rank in the force?
She's a superintendent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. That's a lot of moves. Had to be wearing a white shirt to get all
she's a white shirt. Yeah, she got her white shirt when she first moved to Red Deer. She got her white shirt as an inspector as the OIC in Red Deer. And then she's the superintendent now. So, it's huge.
Kind of cool, though, because the RCMP, they all train here.
It is. It's kind of funny now that I'm back here and And mom and dad have some connection from then. So yeah.
You ever played the golf course right there, the Royal Regina?
No, I haven't. I haven't been here long enough to golf really.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I have pumped a lot of balls onto federal property.
Oh yeah,
on
there
a
you
couple
go.
of the holes there.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
When did your mom go to Red Deer? Just out of curiosity.
She went to Red Deer. It would have been in 2019. She went as an inspector, and then she was acting as the officer in charge, and then they gave her the promotion because the chief had left.
You want to know a funny story? I think his mom replaced Cougar alumni Warren Dosco, who was in charge of Red Deer at that time.
Really?
Yeah.
Who did he?
Warren Dosco was his name.
No, she replaced. What was his name? She didn't replace him though.
Shoemaker.
It wasn't AJ Allmendinger either.
Yeah, no, no. That it was. He was probably right after or right before her.
Before, yeah.
Okay. What's with the pilot thing? How does this all come?
Yeah.
Take our listeners through kind of what you're going through, where you are. This is unreal.
Yeah, so I'm kind of finishing up my ground school right now. It's something I could start in PG, and the WHL scholarship's pretty nice. They pay for a lot of that stuff, so I've been pretty grateful in that way. And then last summer I started my in-air training. I'm pretty close to being done. I would have been finished up, but the federal government's a little slow on the medical stuff, so. Yeah. I was basically waiting for a medical, waiting to do my solo and stuff, but I'm going to go in here at the end of the month and take my federal exam and then do a little bit of in-air stuff, and then I'll have my private pilot ticket. So yeah, it's been a bit of a journey, but it's super fun to have something I'm kind of passionate about while playing. So
what an amazing way to use your scholarship money. Like, that's fantastic that you've used that while you're playing to get this opportunity.
Yeah. You know, that's something I kind of stress to some of the younger guys. You know, I've played with a couple guys who, you know, whether they're school guys or not, or have any interest in playing or going to school or in playing university hockey, there's so many other options. You know, I've met guys who took their air brake license and started their welding ticket and stuff like that. So I think it's something that I really talk to the young guys about. And if they don't see themselves as a post-secondary guy, there's so many other options that you can utilize. So.
What a great story, Ephram. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Where do you want to be? Let's say 10 years, 15 years from now.
Oh, geez, that's I feel like my life could go a lot of different ways, really. I could end up as a bum in the mountains, as a fishing guide, maybe, or no, not that. But I think
trees.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you know, maybe a pilot for, you know, a big airline like an American airline or something like that, or a Swiss Air or Air France or something like that.
Are those the ones to try and get on?
Is that the long-term goal?
Yeah, I think long-term. I think that's kind of every pilot's goal. They'd love to get over to Europe. They make the big bucks and find some pretty gorgeous settings. So I think that's probably a big one. But that would be one. Or I don't know, maybe if I go to business, or I'm not really sure yet. But
what got you into this?
Well, yeah, that's kind of a question I've been asked a lot, and I'm not totally sure. I think.
Woke up one day and said, that sounds cool. I should be a pilot.
I think the biggest thing I can say about that would be just being in so many little northern isolated communities with mom and bouncing around on some pretty tiny planes just from a real young age. You know, I put in a lot of hours in even the right seat or the back seat crying away when I was real little. So I think just kind of having that exposure to the outdoors and little planes and stuff, I think that'd be kind of where it maybe started, but I'm not totally sure.
Have you tracked down Mr. Semple, the owner, and said, can I fly one of your planes?
Oh, man, no, I haven't. But if he's listening, yeah, that would be awesome.
Sean, if you're listening, we got an extra pilot for
Sean,
you.
there you go. Yeah, no, I haven't, but that'd be pretty cool.
The northern exposure in those small planes and all that case. So I'm like, I love aviation. I'm never going to get my pilot's license. I just think it's super cool. Now, what do you have to do? I see the float planes. I saw them in Orlando last week. Yeah. I see them in Emma Lake, and the float plane thing. Is that like a special? You got to take special training for that?
Yeah, you do. It's not as in depth as you'd really think. You know, so kind of how piloting works is you get your private or commercial, which is kind of your base, and then there's endorsements that kind of come with that. So there's float endorsement, night endorsement, mountain endorsement, stuff like that. Okay. So it's basically just an endorsement. I think it's a 10-hour course, and I haven't done any float flying yet myself. I've been on float planes, but they say it's not too much different. It's obviously all the same ideas and stuff, but that's definitely my next step. I'd like to get my night rating, then float, and do that. My a buddy of mine who flies out of the same airport, he's building a really nice float plane right now, so hopefully I'll be on that this summer.
What do you need, because we're in Saskatchewan here, this shout out, maybe hire this guy. What do you need to do crop dusting?
What do you need?
I think you need less brain cells.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. You need your commercial for sure. After that, I'm not sure if there's an ag endorsement or what that is. I know those guys are about as skilled as it gets, though, and pretty ballsy.
Oh, really?
For sure.
Oh, yeah, they're the craziest pilots ever.
I know a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're the most unstable human beings.
Yeah,
they're more now.
Yeah,
yeah, no, that stuff's pretty crazy for sure. Yeah.
One of the Hunter brothers,
really,
the band.
Yeah, from down at Stoughton or
Shawneman.
Shawneman, yeah,
he does it. When they played, three of them played in the Western Hockey League. Two of them played in the Western Hockey League. So what do you think about the movie's amazing, the story's amazing, Sully Sullenberger?
Yeah, pretty crazy story for sure. That's yeah, I can't even imagine being in a spot that I need to make that decision for sure. But
isn't that movie crazy?
That movie is very crazy. Yeah. That's a pretty crazy story for sure. I can't imagine thinking that that's your best option, but but I guess it was. Yeah.
Well, and that's like the human, you got to take the time, and they were like, well, no, you had enough time, and it's like, no, you got to think about.
Yeah.
Like that was so cool.
Yeah, kind of crazy that they were trying to kind of make him look bad almost.
Yeah.
When he was such a hero. I don't know. Yeah.
Very much a hero. Well, man, this is cool. You're an interesting dude.
Oh yeah, thank you. I try, I guess. Yeah.
I would add that when you lived up north, Tuktoyaktuk, you named off a bunch of them. Like any crazy polar bear, like animal.
Like, were you really young when you were up there?
Yeah, I was young,
okay.
Young enough to remember a little bit, but well, we have a polar bear in our movie room. Dad went out with us.
Like as a pet or
no, not alive. No, we had a rug made, and Dad used to go out with some of the local hunters and some of the guys who came from the States that would pay for these big expensive trips, and Dad knew some of the locals who would guide, and he'd go out for some of the hunts, and yeah, one of them was a polar bear hunt. So
what does Dad do?
Dad just retired. He was a correctional officer with federal government.
Really?
Yeah, he went to depot for a bit and decided it wasn't really the road he wanted, and probably regretted it after going back to corrections. But yeah,
those guys are no joke.
No, for sure.
Officers.
Yeah. God bless them.
Yeah, no, he was in the federal prisons for 26 years, I think. So yeah, he did his time and was happy to be done.
Seen some stuff.
Yeah.
And mom. Yeah. They could tell stories forever. Thanks so much. Best of luck tonight. Best of luck with the rest of the season and your career. This was a pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Great to meet you.
Ephram McNutt joining us here on the Sports Cage.